Government still denies foreign currency shortage. CARICOM declares crime a public health issue. And World Bank issues warning to Guyana. I'm Enrico Bulford, and this is Uncut News. News happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. The president has dismissed concerns of a foreign currency shortage in Guyana, despite complaints from the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and some businessmen. An investigation found no shortage, but possible issues with the flow of currency and hoarding, according to the president. The government will continue to monitor the situation to prevent negative impacts on businesses, and the Bank of Guyana has stated that it is not responsible for ensuring the availability of foreign currency for private sector groups. Well, then, what are you there for? I'm just saying. Speaking about the concerns of big businessmen in Guyana, Kamal Singh, the CEO of Geico Construction and General Services Incorporated, has been elected the chairman of the Private Sector Commission during their 31st annual general meeting. The PSC aims to be the leading advocate for the private sector on national issues and promote socio-economic growth and development through strategic partnerships with the government and stakeholders, according to Singh. Meanwhile, the former chairman of the PSC, Paul Cheong, has called on Guyanese businesses to take advantage of the opportunities presented by the oil and gas sector. Cheong also noted that the PSC will continue to advocate for the utilization of Guyanese goods and services and support skills development and employment of citizens. Speaking of the employment of citizens, the government is actually considering importing skilled labor to meet the growing local demand, as the private sector has complained about the difficulties in sourcing skilled labor. The president expressed concern about the ripple effects of the ongoing labor shortage, including the increase in the cost of skilled labor and construction materials. Basically, people are demanding more for their money because there's less of these skilled laborers actually available in the local market, but whatever. The president also acknowledged that the rate of development has outstripped the rate of new skilled entrants into the labor market. On the topic of labor, the Guyana Livestock Development Authority has invited bids for the construction of milk parlors in 3 regions across the nation. The facilities will be constructed at the GLDA's farm at Monrepo, 50 acres at the MMA ADA scheme in Region 5, and at Tarlogi in Region 6. The government is investing in the livestock industry to boost food security and sustainable economic growth, and is encouraging private investment in milk processing capabilities to provide ready markets for local dairy farmers. In health-related news, the newly refurbished psychiatric department of the Georgetown Public Hospital was launched to provide a conducive space where patients can receive care in a dignified and respectful manner, according to the Ministry of Health. The department will offer a range of new services, including electroconvulsive therapy, ketamine services for depression, neuropsychiatry, and forensic psychology. About $100 million was spent on the refurbishment. In other health-related news, the 18th Chinese Medical Brigade has donated over $10 million in medical equipment and supplies to the Linden Hospital. It's just the latest in a string of medical donations from the Chinese government. Such donations included equipment, training, vaccines, and of course, money. It's April. Keep your truck running smoothly this rainy season with high-quality parts from Powered Automotive. They stock parts from all the top brands, including Freightliner, DAF, International, and all models of Cummins engines. Visit them at Lot 491 EE Eccles, or call or WhatsApp them on telephone number 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. Tired of waiting on hold, tracking down a delivery driver, or carrying cash for your food orders? GT Eat is here to make your life easier. Guyana's first cashless food ordering and delivery app. Choose from Georgetown's top restaurants, pay securely with your card, and get your food delivered right to your doorstep. With the convenience of being able to order from your phone and the added feature of tracking your order, GT Eats is the ultimate solution for all your food needs. Download the app on Apple and Android stores and start ordering the easy way today. And that brings us to news of regional heads of government in the Caribbean having declared crime and violence as a public health issue and agreed to strengthen security as a 4th pillar of CARICOM. the leaders plan to comprehensively overhaul the criminal justice systems within their individual nations and address criminal terrorists with a focus on proactive management of prosecutions, sentencing, and the diversion of at-risk young people. The high rate of the illegal importation of guns from the United States is also a major concern they vowed to address. In other bilateral news, the president recently announced the upcoming visits from the presidents of Brazil and the Dominican Republic, as well as economic collaborations with Cuba, Qatar, and the UAE. The importance of managing Ghana's multilateral and bilateral interests to ensure the nation is well presented internationally was emphasized by the president as well. Here's an update to a story we reported on literally years ago. Police Constable Quincy Lewis, who disappeared back in 2020, was allegedly shot and killed by the husband of a woman he had an intimate relationship with. 2 suspects have been arrested, and it is believed that the couple have since fled the jurisdiction. Lewis's body was reportedly dumped near Splashman's Resort on the Linden-Soestdijk Highway. A team of investigators is currently searching the area. Lewis's mother had been hopeful for answers over the years. Sadly, this is the closure she is receiving. A security guard has been remanded to prison on charges of discharging a loaded firearm with intent towards a 10-year-old boy. The incident occurred on April 15th at a Chinese supermarket on the East Bank. The suspect, Ted Edwards, pleaded not guilty and will remain in prison until May the 10th. Armed bandits robbed a Chinese supermarket in Eccles, East Bank, Demerara last night, harassing customers and stealing an unknown amount of cash. The robbery lasted about 3 minutes, and one victim reported being choked by bandits. Nevertheless, the investigations are ongoing. Now for today's oil update. The World Bank has cautioned Ghana about the risks of over-reliance on oil revenues, despite the nation's emergence as one of the world's fastest-growing economies due to the oil and gas sector. The bank highlighted the need for proactive management to prevent the economy from overheating, prudent management of the Natural Resources Fund, and strengthening the medium fiscal management framework. The bank also noted the environmental consequences of oil production and the risk associated with climate change, ethnic and political polarization, which they said has been an issue for years, and inflation. Despite projected expansion of the economy, the bank warned that poverty reduction will depend on efforts to boost the purchasing power of poor and vulnerable households and translating the good performance of the non-oil economy into jobs. That's what I keep saying. It's not about how high our GDP is. It's about how much money is actually in everyone's pocket and what said money can actually buy.
Administrative Professionals Week is coming up, and there's no better way to show your appreciation than with flowers from Shanice's Flowerland. We have a wide selection of beautiful flowers to choose from, including roses, sunflowers, and stunning desk arrangements, starting as low as $6,000. Our gifts are sure to brighten up any workplace and put a smile on anyone's face. With convenient payment options like PayPal, MMG, and Cash App, ordering from us is quick and easy. It's as simple as contacting us on Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp at 645-1189. Come visit us at Shanice's Flowerland at the Movietown Mall and let us help you say thank you in the most beautiful way.
Robbery season might be over, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home or business with Sheriff Security. Sheriff Security has well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, canine services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest. Now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today.
Now for our Uncut News Viewers Poll Question of the Day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Ghana, the region, the diaspora, and how you fear it is what. Last night I asked, how do you feel about the current political situation in Ghana?
But before we get to that, I'm proud to announce our latest addition to the Noble Army, Richard Singh, who is supporting us at the reporter level, the highest level of monthly support we've received so far. So thank you, Richard Singh. And also, a special thank you to David Griffith, Dion Nascimento, Project Zero, and Dimitri V. I appreciate you all. And if you're watching at home and you'd like to support our movement, just hit the link in the video description.
Dimitri V says, I feel like the political situation right now in Guyana is dangerous. The opposition is borderline incompetent. They cannot seem to muster any semblance of unity amongst themselves, and they're already losing members. The ruling party does not hold any kind of parliamentary procedure for any of the policies that they bring forward. It only will notify you of the changes we're going to make, and then we'll implement them. The PPP was promoting one Ghana. Now the political landscape looks like one party. They also take joy in winning an Afro-Guyanese vote. I think it's more disparaging that there are no independent parties to challenge them, but this goes with the lack of unity present in the nation. You know what, Dimitri, you're absolutely right, but as for the independent party part, you know the movement exists, and you're always free to join. Now for tonight's question. I ask about the political landscape. Now I want to know, what are your feelings on the economic landscape? Does it seem like we're going in the right direction? Or are we heading nowhere fast? Or is it just somewhere in between? I want to hear from you. So, think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Nuri Koppelfoot saying, good night, folks.